Again, it's a pleasure to introduce someone who was here last year and who has been with this movement and is willing to speak out in favor of resistance to the mullahs in Iran. He is Rick Gray, who is a Republican member of the Arizona House of Representatives and chairman of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee.
Just out of curiosity, can I see the hands of the people that are here for the first time? Very good. For those of you that don't have it on film, yes, let's. There were quite a few hands, and as Ms. Chavez had said, last year was the first year that we had a conference here. I was invited to come and speak, and I was a little dumbfounded about why they would want me to speak. But I will tell you, especially for those of you that are here for the first time, there's a danger in coming to this, because your heart gets grabbed. Most of us here in this country, I know for me, our freedom is a strong passion for me. I think it's inbred in us in America. People come here for freedom, and there's that desire for freedom. Part of what our Constitution says is government is made to serve the people and to maintain and protect our rights. As a legislator, I look at that when I look at voting on every bill. When I started getting involved with this movement and met some fantastic people that I've become very close friends with, Abby Amiri, who opened up the session, we've spent a lot of time together. And for me, that means a lot. I don't spend time with people very easily because I know that the people you hang around with, the people you become like, we have to be careful who we hang around with. But the people that I've hung around with that are Iranian Americans, I see the passion for their country. I see the passion for freedom. I see the passion, the same heart that I see in the American people as we're fighting to maintain our freedom. As I'm talking, for you people in the room, I want you to know that what I'm saying is, as some others have said, isn't just for you, because this is being broadcast to the Iranian people. In fact, I heard a story, I won't mention names because I don't know if that's a good thing to do, but one of the Iranian gentlemen was telling me that he had talked to a man who had been in prison, he'd been tortured in prison in Iran, and the man was able to get out and worked his way back and came to America, and they met. And that prisoner had told him, I heard what you were saying, I heard what you were doing. That was being filtered into that prison. This message, this growing body of Americans is a communication to the Iranian people that they're not alone. And so for those of you in Iran that are fighting for your freedom, to get it back, I want you to know that from the history of America, I can look back and I see where our founding fathers laid down their lives and sacrificed their fortunes, their families, their lives to purchase the freedom that we've had. We've had people in our military who have laid down their lives. We have graves all over the world of men and women from America who have died in those countries, and we've asked nothing more than a place to bury them for their freedom and for the freedom of the people around this globe. Yes, they do deserve a hand. We know that freedom is not a cheap and easy thing. You don't go to the dime store and buy it. It takes blood, it takes torture sometimes, it takes persistence, and we in America know that you can lose it. I think many of you here are aware of that and are desperately fighting to maintain it here. But I want you to know, those of you who are around the globe hearing this, that maybe at different levels, you're in Iran and you don't have your freedom yet. My message to you is never give up. I was fortunate, as Ms. Chavez said, to go to the event in Paris. I had talked with many Iranians. I had talked with many of our military. In fact, one of the Iranians had asked me the day after the conference, which was kind of brutal because we flew all night, we had jet lag, and we were up basically all day and into the night at the conference. But it was so moving. And he had asked me, what was the speech that really got you the most? And I said, it really wasn't one of the speeches. It was my conversation with the gentleman who was sitting by me, a Colonel Wes Martin, who told me the story that he had been in charge of Camp Liberty when the Americans went in and took their weapons away from them, with the promise that we would protect you. He was the one that got to know those people, got to trust those people, actually got intelligence from those people. When he told me that he was also the one that was told, you need to withdraw from that camp. And I looked on his face, and years afterwards, you could still see the tortured look. Here was a man of character, a man who stood by his word, a man who also did his duty. And on the one hand, he was committed to these people because of his character, of what's right and wrong. And on the other hand, he had the commands from his commander-in-chief, and he had to follow orders. That, to me, was heartbreaking. We should never put our military, our men, our people of honor in a situation where their honor has to be compromised. We have people in Iran that are suffering right now because they're not compromising their honor. We as Americans, we may not have the same religious faith, but one of the things that we have in unison with them is the love and the commitment to freedom. And so whether we are here in America grasping, or whether you are there in Iran or Paris or anywhere else across the globe, never give up. I want to echo, too, one more thing before I go, what Linda Chavez has said. When I went to Paris, as we were coming in and to move into the conference, and I got the opportunity to meet Howard Dean. Now, I'm a Republican. I've seen Howard Dean rant. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that is further from my political point of view than this guy. But as I started talking with him, I thought, man, this guy is solidly committed. So for all of you that Republicans that are committed to freedom, I want you to realize we may not have agreement on everything, but we have a lot of Democrats that are totally committed to freedom in Iran, to doing what's right by our military. And as far as I'm concerned, I may not be with them on anything else, but when we're together on this, I will work and fight with them for the sake of these Iranians, for the sake of freedom. And again, all together, as we work together, we just have to keep in mind, we will never give up. We will never give up. And I challenge you in Iran, don't give up. I want to say that your brothers and sisters, your Iranian brothers and sisters that are here, are setting such a tremendous example of quality, of character, of devotion, of passion. They inspire us. They inspire me to not only work for you, but to be a better American. Never give up. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Representative Gray.